August 5th, another baffling shooting spree took place within a religious temple of the Sikh faith in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, Sunday morning about 10:30 a.m. local time, leaving 3 injured and 6 dead. What at first sight may look just like another random lone wolf rampage in the gun-toting American society, reveals a strange connection with the London Olympics that suggests the possibility of another Illuminati human sacrifice for occultist purposes.
Tonight in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. John, good evening.
Good evening, Bryant. That description of domestic terrorism comes from local authorities. The FBI is now on the scene as well, and law enforcement officials are telling NBC News details about this alleged gunman. They say he's a man in his 30s. He was wearing tactical gear when he carried out this attack. He was armed with a single handgun. And right now, officials are searching what they believe to be his home, looking for clues about his motive. The 911 calls began at 10:25 a.m. Gunfire at the Sikh Temple of Wisconsin in Oak Creek. Worshippers said one service had ended and another was about to begin. Families were gathering with small children.
Our officer, a 20-year veteran, was ambushed, shot multiple times. He is currently at the hospital undergoing surgery. We expect him to recover.
The officer was rushed to a Milwaukee hospital along with at least 9 other wounded victims.
And another officer who was on scene was engaged by the suspect. Our officer did engage that individual, and that individual is deceased.
Authorities said they found 4 people dead inside the temple and 2 more bodies outside. In the chaos, many people hid throughout the building. For hours, police combed through it, bringing out survivors of the ordeal. For family members outside, it was an agonizing wait.
Well, my mom, she was one of the ladies that was hiding in the pantry, and she called us around 11, and she called us very quick, and she whispered. She said, "Don't come." She's like, "There's a shooting here."
If you look closer, you will see that this murderous attack happened exactly 7 days before the closing ceremony of the London Olympics, but this detail will make sense only if you remember that the shooting spree at the Badman premiere in Aurora, Colorado, happened exactly 7 days before the Olympics opening ceremony. Hardly the 7-day timing between 2 murderous attacks in the USA and both Olympic ceremonies can be dismissed as mere coincidences. Especially because the number 7 is extremely meaningful for occultists and conjurers of darkness powers. According to the Jewish Kabbalah, the number 7 connects the metaphysical world with the tridimensional physical world. Notice that the shooting spree in Wisconsin happened in the morning after the Shabbat, which is the 7th day of the Jewish week, though according to the Christian faith it happens on Sunday, not on Saturday. And regardless the popular belief that the 7 is the number of creation, it refers to the way that the occult world connects to the physical world. Regardless the fact that most people fail to notice these details, the odd patterns surrounding both tragedies suggest they were scheduled events made for an occult agenda, which certainly is the way of the Illuminati cabal. Blood sacrifices and apparently not connected scenarios, filled with occultist symbols and mystic numbers. A careful look into the sky configuration Sunday morning, by the time of the shooting spree within the Sikh temple in Wisconsin, reveals that Venus, the planet worshipped by the Illuminati cabal, and associated with blood sacrifices, was perfectly aligned with the Orion constellation. More precisely, the meaningful planet was in the right hand of the hunter, the hand that holds his weapon. And for what matters, notice that the Orion hunter is often depicted holding either the skin or the head of a dead lion with his left hand. This detail only will make sense if you take in mind that all men of the Sikh faith receive the surname Singh, which means lion, right when they are born. I'm having a hard time thinking it is just a coincidence.
There have been incidents nationwide where Sikhs have been mistakenly targeted by anti-Muslim groups.
This is such a tragedy, and hopefully we can use this event to educate Americans about our Sikh religion.
Also, I don't think it's a coincidence the fact that this murderous event occurred right after the astonishing and perfect alignment of the full moon with the Olympic rings, which took place exactly during the Jewish Sabbath. The full moon, which represents the female demon Lilith, and also is very meaningful for occultists and darkness worshippers, was spotted rising across the rings and passing between the towers of the London Bridge. Perhaps an occult symbolism representing Lilith crossing the gates of the underworld. Another detail that may have passed unnoticed by most people is that the Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh is a Sikh as well, and if you remember, he's also one of the world leaders who decided in the very last minute not attend the opening ceremony of the London Olympics, what raises some sensitive questions. Is it possible that he was a target of the Illuminati for a human sacrifice during the Olympics? Is it possible that the shooting spree at the Sikh temple in Wisconsin was a collateral sacrifice because he managed to avert his death?
We're still gathering information, Bill. What we're told is that Wade Michael Page was 40 years old. He is an Army veteran. He apparently served out of Fort Bragg and Fort Bliss from April 92 through October 98. Never deployed, but did receive some medals, including the Army Good Conduct Medal, the Humanitarian Service Medal. He was a psychological operations specialist, and he apparently moved into this duplex behind me just a couple of weeks ago.
Considering that the latest reports of mainstream media give account that the shooter of the Sikh temple in Oak Creek was a former military of psychological operations in the US Army, the odds are that he probably was a Manchurian drone as well. But the point is that the creepy timing between both the killing rampage in Aurora and Wisconsin and the opening and closing ceremonies of the London Olympics cannot be ignored, neither regarded as isolated events, because there are too many details pointing out to an occultist agenda behind them.
Temple where this shooting occurred yesterday morning was